everyone in the conference room immediately. My name is Jalen White, and this is day 4 on My Black Job. Well, hello, coworkers. I am back again, and yes, I know I am several days late to putting this episode out. Bear with me. Listen, I'm gonna be frank. I just wasn't in the mood this week. I was not. I was trying to figure out what day of the week best suits my vibe. And honestly, Monday is a day that I think we all hate. It's the first day of the week. Tuesday is a questionable day. Wednesday is the midpoint of the week. Thursday is just a filler day where you're hoping to get to Friday so you can be set for the weekend. So honestly, I guess what I'm saying is throw the whole week away. No, but I'm seeing people on Twitter are calling Fridays bare minimum Fridays. Give that job little to no effort so you can hurry up and get to the weekend. And that's pretty consistent with my brand. You know, I'm not lazy. I'm selectively active. In fact, I'm doing the bare minimum right now. You're welcome. No, honestly, it just suits my brand. I mean, all I really care about doing is being black and dying. You know, at least that's what I used to hear people say. That's all I'm required to do is be black and die. And so here we are on Fridays. I'm a little bit adjusted. You know, I've regulated my emotions for this week. And so we're here. We are here. Oh, I saw Donald Trump was indicted on another charge by attorney Jack Smith. It's about him, his interference with the previous election. And so all I'm going to say is yay and lock his ass up. Just lock him up and throw away the key. See if he can survive with them stubby fingers in prison. I want to see people grab him by his fucking pussy. I'm just saying it's time to throw him in jail. We cannot have a felon for president of the United States. If that's the case, then I guess mommy was right when she said I could be anything when I grow up. So maybe you'll see me as your next fuck ass president. Maybe it'll be Jalen, this gay for president 2020. I can't even do my account. 2029. I was like, when does the next term start? But anyway, lock his ass up. We want to see it. We're ready to see it. And in other news, I'm also tired of seeing Tyrese crying everywhere he is publicly. We need to put a stop to Tyrese. It's not cute anymore. It's not entertaining. At this point, it's embarrassing. I'm going to be honest. It's a grown man crying about everything. I guess he's mad because his child support was increased. And it's nothing we can do about it. We can't save him. We didn't have his kids. We don't make the type of money he makes. This is on him. And so I guess what I'm saying is, fellas, start thinking through what you do with your man meat, because it's always going to come back and haunt you in the end. If it's not a deadly case of syphilis, it will be child support. So just think this shit through before you start having kids, because I'm gonna be honest, if you are one of my friends and I see you on the internet crying about having to pay child support, I'm going to block you. I am going to block you, and we will not be friends anymore, because I didn't lay down with you. So I don't have to sit there and try to hold space for you. I shouldn't have to hold space for you because of something that you did. So in holding space for myself, I'm going to let you go as a friend and let you embarrass yourself on the internet. Tyrese, we've had enough. You're not even attractive when you cry. Get back to begging. Maybe a sweet lady, would you be mine? Maybe if you get back to begging these women, it'll work out better for you. That's all I'm going to say. But I don't want to hear no more crying. I don't want to see it. I don't care about what's going on with you. And please stop trying to cosplay as old singers as well, because I saw that you pulled in that front lace wig and that front lace mustache, half mustache, half beard that you put on, and you went and sung the national anthem. I don't want to see that anymore. I've had enough. You should be at home crying about embarrassing yourself if you want to cry about anything. But we've had enough. Okay, Jody, we've had enough. You need to grow up, Jody. It's time to be a man. Before we collectively agree, we need to put you in a chokehold like Ving Rhymes and make you call for your mama. Because we've had enough. But we're gonna move on off of Kyries because it frustrates me every time I think about it. Oh, and did we see the internet in shambles? Because August Alsina did this panel interview with Nick Cannon, and he basically was saying that he feels as if God has led him to getting the exposure to meeting other people, and through that exposure he's met the love of his life, and that love of his life is a man. And Nick Cannon kind of made a face, and then the internet was up in arms because they're like, how dare him say that God would lead him to loving a man? That's not of God. And then you had that hood rat Akbar V, or whatever her name is, wannabe rapper ass pick me, talking about y'all not gonna lie on my Lord, not my God, and all of that. And it's just like, well, don't you have multiple children that you don't even have custody of? Where was God when you was laying down making all them kids? And then it's just, as far as people being like, even Nick Cannon didn't condone that. First of all, Nick Cannon can't be judging anybody, because doesn't he have like 9 kids by several different women, where he's not able to really give up his time or his energy to one specific household, which is going to always leave some lack somewhere. So I'm just confused how heterosexual people can say God led them to trying to build a legacy through having multiple kids, or God led them to the love of their life, which is a woman or a man. But that seemingly only applies when you're heterosexual. And I just think that that's unfair. So who are you to tell me that God hasn't led me into a situation that honors what I deserve and how I view myself? And so if that be a man or a woman, who's to say God didn't lead me there? I'm just tired of people moving the goalpost for what is right or for what is wrong when it comes to God, but specifically where it comes to the gays. And it's just like, first of all, just stay out of our gay business if you're going to judge it any fucking way. And stop trying to say that we're trying to push a gay agenda when you guys keep coming and digging in our pocketbooks trying to figure out what's happening in our behind our closed doors. I'm sick of people trying to hide their homophobia with their beliefs. And we've just had enough. Like, if you want to go be a slut and have as many kids and spread your seed as far as you possibly can, all in the name of your legacy, then baby, you do you. But if I decide that I want to be in one committed monogamous relationship with someone of the same sex, a consenting adult, then that's my business. And I'm going to thank God and give all glory to God when it comes to things that bring joy and happiness and evolution into my life. So who are you to tell August Alsina that he can't honor God by being grateful for this love that he has in his life? Just be honest. You think love can only really be had and honorable when it's between a man and a woman, and anything otherwise is against your beliefs and against God. So don't try to run up and be in our faces and try to pretend like you really support and value us and really see it for us, when it really comes down to it, you just think that we're all hell ridden. So let me go to hell first class if that be the case, but I'm going to do it in style, and I'm going to do it with grace and with my head held high, and with the love, hopefully with the love that I have now. And so I just think that it's really unfortunate how people are doing August Alsina online. Like, let him be happy. Like, baby clearly is drinking his water and minding his business. Skin is super clear. He got a skincare line, his cologne out. And I'm happy that he's found love and he found somebody that he can connect to. And so what if it's the man? Like, so what? I think that God would much rather him have someone that values him than to be in multiple relationships, just spreading his seed loosely, because he doesn't have any type of dignity or self-respect. So I'm happy for August Alsina, and I celebrate him and his man. I think that they are an adorable light-skinned couple, and they deserve all of the happiness and all of the things and blessings that God has for them. Period. Like, I really want you guys to start being honest about your disdain for queer and trans people. Like, oftentimes you guys are like, oh, it's cool. I'm cool with this person. I have a trans friend. I know a gay person. And to some of us, that sounds exactly like, I'm not racist. I have black friends. Like, just be real about it. Like, either gay people make you uncomfortable, you don't see it for us, you don't see it for our relationships. And so it's always cool until you find something to be like critical of, and then it's just all of a sudden, well, God doesn't condone it anyway, it's a sin. It's just like, well, if that's how you feel, if that's how you feel, don't run with me, don't hang out with me, don't indulge in anything that I have going on, because it's only a matter of time before you say, I love you, but that you got going on ain't even right. No, if that's how you feel, keep that same energy year round. Don't hang out with me. Don't just wait for me. Don't call on me when you just need me to be an accessory, your hairstylist, your makeup artist, your clothing stylist. Like, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy, and then you'll start looking like Kim Burrell, a fucking mess. You can tell when Kim Burrell pissed off all the sissies in her camp, she started wearing trash bags and matted wigs. But now that she's made that fake ass apology that she recently gave at the Stellar Awards, where she was like, for all the LGBT people, give them a hand, give them a round of applause. And ever since then, her makeup and her hair has been back on point. Just respect us. Respect us. If you want respect, you need to also give it. Like, nobody is going to just be like, oh, you're straight and you're in church, or you have these beliefs, so you're better than me, or you know better. No, you sound fucking stupid. You look stupid. And also, Christian people need to understand that everybody in the world doesn't believe the same things or see things the same way. Does that mean that you're right or that you're wrong? I don't think it does. So just stay out of gay people's business. If you don't see it for gay people, or if you really don't support or value the gay human beings around you, then keep that same energy year round. Period. I am no longer holding space for people that half support me. Like, unlike August Alsina, I'm not going to come do a panel discussion somewhere for people to think that I owe them an explanation for how I choose to live my life. I'm just no longer doing that. And I'm also no longer, I've said this before in an Instagram video, I'm also no longer going to be a liaison of information about queer and gay trans shit. If you have questions about gay stuff, gay history, Google. It's free. Listen, I am not I am not the Martin Luther King of sucking dick. Okay? I am not the Rosa Parks of taking it up in the ass. Get on Google and figure it out if you care so goddamn much. Although I am qualified, neither here nor there. But I'm just not choosing to hold space for people that don't understand us, don't want to get it, aren't interested in getting it, and don't care to do any work in expanding or evolving the way that they see queerness. So yeah, I'm really really praying that August Alsina will continue to just pay these people dust, and realize that we don't owe anyone an explanation for how we love. We don't owe them shit. So remember that when you run up on me asking me questions about queer shit. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you my pride nor my shame. Period. This week, coworkers, what I wanted to talk to you guys about was holding space. As I said, And I mean holding space for ourselves. As I said at the beginning of this episode, this week I honestly was not in the mood. I had my first in-person audition, um, and it's my first. I haven't had one in like years. My first in years, and I knew that I was going to be a little rusty when I did it, and there were some technical things that I um, need to get back into my muscle memory. But I understood that it was going to weigh on my self esteem and my confidence for the rest of the week. And I just was, I knew I was going to be hard on myself. And usually when I get those types of feelings, like I'll go get an alcoholic beverage and really try to kind of drink that insecurity, that doubt away. But this week, I just chose to hold space for myself and hold space for those feelings and really try to understand where a lot of those feelings stem from. And I realized that it's largely rooted in anxiety and my inability to kind of be present. We live in a time where our world, is filled with so many different distractions, and usually those distractions help us to stay off focus, to not have to really dive into the source, the root of whatever we're kind of dealing with. And so I realized that my anxiety causes for me not to be present in certain moments. So like when a camera turns on to me, I tend to deflate my anxiety. I'm focused on how I think I'm being perceived, what I think what I look like to people. Is my hairline straight enough? Are my teeth wide enough? Is my mustache even? Like I deflate. I become really small versus really taking a moment to put my feet into the ground and say, this is who I am. This is what I look like, and this is what I got to give, and just be confident in that. And so this week, I just was moody after that audition, and I had things that I needed to get done, things that I needed to do this week. And I just said, you know what? I'm not doing any of that. I don't feel like it. I don't want to fake it. I don't want to show up and have to overextend myself and contrive some energy together to appease people. And through just saying no or I don't want to has been so liberating for me, because I've honored myself by not pushing myself to do something begrudgingly. And that is huge for me. Some of my family is also taking a trip this weekend. We take the same kind of trip every year. And I just realized I didn't want to go this year. I don't want to go. I just want to do my own thing. And just as far as saying no, like I'm not in the mood for that, has been liberating, because I'm such a people pleaser, and I will push myself to do things that I often don't want to do to make other people happy, or to make other people just kind of be excited with what I'm doing and who I am. And I'm just realizing that I don't desire that type of validation anymore, that I just want to do what I want to do when the fuck I want to do it, however I feel is best for me to do it. And that is liberating. It's liberating, and I think it's really revolutionizing how I'm kind of stepping into, this project that I'm currently developing. Many of you know that I am set to record my comedy album in May of 2025. And so right now I'm in that development phase. And, like I said, I struggle with being present. And so in not being present, I'm like focused, like, can I do this? Like, what am I doing? Why would I accept this distribution deal? Like, what the fuck am I even doing? Like, I'm not a veteran comic yet. Like, what's going on, but and slowing down and really even holding space for those feelings, I've been literally able to come up with a very clear concept. And that clear concept in this first week of development has helped me to figure out a calculated approach to even curating this project. But it's taken me, it has required for me to take a moment to slow down and say, hey, what are you feeling? Why are you feeling this? And honestly, I've been trying to conceptualize this project for 5, 6 months now. And all during that time, I just was like avoiding my feelings, avoiding all of the doubt and the fear that I've had. But now I've had the audacity to just hold a smidgen of space for myself and really forcing myself to even address those feelings. And by addressing those feelings, I've had a breakthrough because now I understand the source of that doubt, the source of that insecurity, and it gives me a better line of defense, of attack, of offense, when I kind of feel those emotions. And so I rambled on in saying this, but I really want to encourage all of my coworkers listening to this to honor yourself by holding space for yourself as it feels necessary. Like sometimes we don't take a moment to slow down and really sit with our feelings and sit with our emotions. We kind of just, we become reactive when we feel things, either reactiveness out of avoidance. We want to avoid those feelings, that vulnerability around those feelings, or we just simply don't know how to address those feelings. And so I think holding space for yourself could even look like just sitting in stillness and in silence and trying to get as present with yourself as possible until you do have clarity and understanding and explanation. Sometimes you might not have an answer for a problem, but it doesn't take the problem away from you. It just means that you wait and you keep applying yourself until you cultivate the correct solution for that problem. And so I've just been really committed to my own personal healing and self-development. And a part of that right now, at this point of my journey that I am, requires that I spend a little time in selfishness and reflection. And by doing that, I honor myself because I don't have to avoid things. And I also don't have to be reactive to things. I could really spend time in my own personal meditation and really figure it out for myself, what it is that I want and what it is that I also need. And so that's been hard for me because I think sometimes when I'm faced with uncertainty or a lot of those feelings that I was talking about, doubt and insecurity, I had a tendency to look to other people to kind of bring about peace or kind of alleviate that doubt or that insecurity through external forms of validation. And I realized that people aren't always going to be there to do that for me. And also, you don't want to drain people. Something that I learned early on in trying to be involved with entertainment and dealing with a lot of insecurity, people don't, you might be talented and people might like working with you, but if they always have to build you up and always have to feed your self-esteem and your ego, they're going to not want to work with you as much because you're too fucking needy, and so you have to figure out how to kind of like do that work on your own. And it really is a mystery on how to do it. But I know for me, it has started with slowing down to be a little bit more present for myself, to hold a specific type of space for myself where I'm doing that uncomfortable reflective work, shadow work, without having to bring a third party into my shit. And honestly, I feel so much more clear. I was supposed to take headshots today, but that got rescheduled for next week. And I'm excited to tell you guys about how that worked out for me. after I do it, because I was so I was like so nervous where I like felt like I was going to throw up in my mouth. Like I say, like as soon as the camera gets pointed on me, I deflate and all my insecurities come up to the surface and I can't even focus on the task at hand. And so in holding space for myself, um, and being honest with what I'm insecure about, look wise, I was able to really spend time with myself in the mirror and just be like, this is what you look like. This is your face. This is your big ass head. I'm a little cockeyed in the left eye, but this is all what makes me uniquely me. And so in recognize that and taking responsibility for how I look, um, I'm able to slow down and be like, yeah, I am a little insecure. And so I was able to talk to the photographer and be like, hey, I just need some direction. If you give me some direction, we can do something. I'm basically telling him like, there's some insecurity here, but if you work with me, we can get this done together. And so had I not slowed down to be honest with myself, I probably would have just ran into, this headshot session, highly insecure, highly on edge, and probably would have spent my money on some of the shittiest of pictures that would have looked professional, but now in being like, hey, I need to pour into myself every day. I need to make sure that when I look in the mirror that I'm going out of my way to love on myself a little bit more and more. Now, in recognizing that and taking accountability of that, now I'm excited about my headshot session next week. You know, um, because I think that what I was looking for in that insecurity, I think I was looking for somebody to be like, well, baby, you cute, baby, you got this, you not funny looking, I was looking for somebody to say that, but I needed to tell myself that so I could actually believe it. And so getting present allowed me to be vulnerable and hold space for those uncomfortable feelings. And like I said, now I'm excited, and I want to be excited about everything that I do. But that requires that I spend a lot of quality time with myself so I can bring my best self to everything that I do. So I know I rambled on and maybe a lot of this really didn't make sense, but coworkers, this weekend, I'm really challenging you to spend some necessary R&R with yourself, whether it be for 5 minutes to 5 hours, but just spend a little time holding space for what you're going through, what you feel, what you think, your inadequacies and insecurities and doubts and fears, and really hold space for that just whole reflection process. And I promise you, through doing that more and more every day, you're going to unlock a new level of emotional intelligence and a power that you never thought that you had. And you're going to be so clear on who you are, what's going on with you, and what you got to offer. I was always taught that when you go see a doctor, that you need to have taken stock of what's going on with you physically before you go to your doctor's appointment. So that way you're able to tell your doctor exactly what you're feeling, what's going on with you. But if you don't hold space for yourself, you'll just go in and expect for them to poke and prod you and find something. But if you don't tell them you got that pain in your kneecap, they won't know that you got that pain in your kneecap. And so I'm telling you to hold space for yourself so you don't have to suffer in silence. So you can start building yourself up into who exactly you want to be. Listen, coworkers, I know this is late, but I need to make sure a late show, but I need to make sure that I clock out on goddamn time. Next week, I am going to dedicate an episode to all of the comedy icons and legends that have come before me that have truly inspired me. and have really given me the tools that I need in setting me on this comedy journey that I'm on, creating an album next year. I want to just pay homage to all of the comedy icons, stand-up comedians, actors, comedic actors, and improvers that have come before me that really make me love this shit and make me want to do more of this. And so stay tuned for next week's comedy episode. Bye.